Hi, how's it going? I'm Rachel and I work behind the scenes with Team ProKennex Pickleball. Today I teamed up with Steve Dawson and Darrian Young to do a tutorial. And because I'm a super beginner or novice player, I thought we'd try something a little different. Rather than have Steve give you guys the instructions, we thought I would try to digest everything and relay that information back to you. That way, if you're a super beginner like me or an expert player, everyone can take something a little different from this. So, without further ado, here is how to defend against a power play or a power player, also known as a banger. Steve told me something that you definitely don't want to do when you're playing against one of these players, and that is that you don't want to look something like this, flailing around with your arms in the air, with your knees locking out and completely straightening, and also with your feet leaving the ground. What this is going to do is going to give your opponent all of the advantage, and it's going to make you take all the risk. Steve told me about 3 things that you want to remember in order to have the advantage. And you want to remember them by thinking about them from the ground up. Tip number 1 is what's called a split stance. This is when you want to kind of pop with your feet hitting the ground at the exact same time as your opponent's ball strikes the paddle. This will get your fast twitch muscle fibers to fire, it'll get your muscles engaged and ready for whatever shot your opponent hits, whether that's center, left, or right. It'll just get you squared up and ready to go. Tip number 2 is to have a constant bend or flexion in your knees. This is going to help you stay grounded and help you stay strong with the transfer of energy coming from the ground up, because your eyes will be locked into the line of that ball. It'll also help with your aim. Finally, tip number 3. This is about having a quiet paddle. This means when your paddle strikes the ball, it doesn't really have any flailing after that point of contact. It hits it, it sticks it, and the ball does the rest of the work. This is the way that you ensure the power from your opponent's hit really is deflected back onto them. So, those are all the 3 steps you need to think about when you're defending against a power player or a banger. Split step, constant flexion in your knees, and having that quiet paddle do all the work. I hope this has been helpful. This is Team ProKennex Pickleball.